In yet another example of how California politicians are putting the interests of non-citizens over the interests of citizens, they just passed a new law giving Mexican citizens in-state tuition discounts to California colleges and universities. Coming up, we'll tell you about this absurd new law, what it's going to cost you, and how we're leading the fight to stop it. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and any longtime Californian knows that when you think about some of the benefits, the few dwindling benefits that we have left in California, of being taxpayers, of living out here, one of the benefits still remains that our students, our children, if you're a California resident, will receive an in-state tuition discount in going to a community college, the CSU system, or the UC system. In fact, decades and decades, this has always been one of the perks, the benefits of living in California is this steep discount that you're able to get on going to college. Well, you no longer just have to be a California resident to get this. You can get an in-state tuition discount. No, not if you're in Arizona, not if you're in Nevada, not if you're in Oregon and live close to the border. No, California politicians, Governor Gavin Newsom and the Democrats in the Sacramento legislature, they just voted to give an in-state tuition discount to Mexican citizens. Oh, you saw that one coming a mile away, right? It's part of the pattern that we've seen, disturbing pattern, offensive pattern of treating non-citizens better than citizens, of prioritizing the interest of Mexican citizens over the interest of California citizens or even U.S. citizens. Here's the story. California will give Mexican residents near the border in-state tuition. If you go into the bill itself, and I got a bill number here for you at some place. I think it's, you know what it is? I remember off the top of my head, it's Assembly Bill 91 from David Alvarez. Here is one of the stories back when it was originally proposed.
You're watching ABC 10 News at 4.
They're not able to come and have an education because they live in Tijuana.
A college education may soon get easier for those living just a stone's throw away.
Wait. You hear that? They're not able to come and have an education because they live in Tijuana. Look, that is absolutely false. That is wrong. It is untrue. I don't know if 10 News in San Diego did any sort of research, but let me let them in on a little secret, and I'll let you in on a little secret. Do you know that foreign students come all the time to California to attend our colleges and universities? Shocker. 10 News, you have to rush to revise your story. I know it comes as a surprise that foreign students have routinely come to California to attend college and university, as they have across the country. No one is saying you're not allowed to come to California. So this sob story is false. It opens with a false concept that somehow if you live in Tijuana, you can't come to California to go to college or university. Wrong, dead wrong. There's no law that prohibits you from coming here and going to one of our schools.
From the United States, a new state bill would allow those living in northern Mexico to pay in-state tuition. ABC 10 News reporter Perla Shaheen shows us how this could change the lives of so many.
How this could change the lives of so many. Now, notice how 10 News is literally fluffing. They are pushing this thing. They are trying to promote it. It's about letting kids come and pursue college degrees. It's going to be easier. Changing the lives. Well, let's also consider, increasing the cost to students here. Because if you give discounts to some students that are not eligible for the discounts, again, there's only so many students at a college or university, there's fixed costs that would have to be borne by the rest of the students. through higher tuition, or it would have to be absorbed by California taxpayers. 10 News doesn't want to talk about any sort of cost here. There's no negative controversy here. There's no disagreement here. It's all yes, fluff, very good. Again, this is the gaslighting. It's despicable. It is why people are no longer tuning into these TV stations, and rightfully so.
Who are currently struggling to afford their dreams.
Oh, they're struggling to afford their dreams. Okay, how's that different from anyone else that's out there trying to afford to go to a college or university? And don't get me in on the wokeism in these schools. I'm not so sure that it's a bargain anymore to pay these exorbitant rates for a relatively limited value for a degree in today's colleges and universities.
There were a handful of times when Abril Hernandez could have given up on her education.
This is like Hollywood production. She could have given up on her education. There's a handful of times that she just thought, maybe I can't make it happen.
I was born here, but I grew up in Tijuana.
She first enrolled at Southwestern College in 2011 and moved across the border to San Diego to get in-state tuition.
It was the only way that I would be able to afford school.
Hernandez couldn't manage the cost of rent, so she left school after one semester.
By the way, who's responsible for high rent in California? Yeah, that would be the same politicians, right?
And moved back to Tijuana. But she didn't give up. Hernandez re-enrolled in 2020 thanks to 2 part-time jobs, FAFSA, and merit scholarships.
That's how now I'm able to be a student and continue my journey.
Now she's about to finish her associates and hopes to pursue a 4-year degree in environmental engineering.
By the way, 10 News, this is all scripted. 10 News got someone who's born in the United States, so she's a U.S. citizen, who says she can't afford to live in California, so she goes to Mexico for lower rent. The politicians and the high cost of living in California has driven this citizen out of her own country. So they're using her as the poster child, a U.S. citizen, again, to soften the blow of what AB 91 actually does, which is it allows Mexican citizens to get in-state tuition discounts. Let's be very clear on what this allows Mexican citizens. She's just the poster child of a U.S. citizen who needs to get an in-state tuition discount. Let's just go ahead and let this one through. No. That's not who Assembly Bill 91 was written for. It doesn't limit it just to U.S. citizens living in Mexico. It says Mexican citizens living in Mexico get the in-state tuition discount. By the way, there's a perverted philosophy, just an outrageous philosophy that's on the left that says that the border should be erased, that the border crossed Mexico, that we're living in occupied territories. Swear to God, there are absolute groups out there on the left of the political spectrum that say that we should have an open border, that borders are bad, that walls are bad, and that if we give a benefit for this person here, let's give a benefit for that person there. This is what this bill is all about. It doesn't matter whether you're a citizen. It doesn't matter where you live. Oh, unless you live in Arizona, Nevada, Dubuque, Iowa, Tennessee. If any American said, oh, I see that you're giving out non-state resident tuition discounts, do I get one? No, you're a U.S. citizen. This is only for people in Mexico, Mexican citizens. Didn't you get the memo? Gavin Newsom and California Democrats are always trying to, take care of criminals over law-abiding citizens and take care of Mexican citizens over, U.S. citizens or even their own residents. Here's CBS 8. I want to share this other one. CBS 8 has a similarly ignorant and misleading story.
Students who live south of the border will soon be able to go to college in the U.S. and spend less money while attending.
Governor Newsom recently signed Assembly Bill 91, which offers in-state tuition prices for low-income students in parts of Mexico.
Oh, they're low-income students in parts of Mexico. The bill is for Mexican students,
including Tijuana.
CBS 8's Jenny Day explains how this will work for students.
Jenny Day explains how this is going to work for students. Notice in this story, not a single critic of the bill. No opposition. There's no balance here. It's all bias. It's all narrative. It's all puff.
Member David Alvarez, who represents much of the South Bay, spearheaded this idea. He says that Southern California and Northern Baja often operate as a mega region.
There you go. We don't need borders. Boundaries are irrelevant. We operate as a mega region.
So now many people who live.
Look at her face. Yeah. This is, I paused it at the perfect point. It's a mega region. We don't have a border. You should treat Mexicans like Americans. They don't have to pay property taxes to support our state. They don't pay sales taxes. They're not paying income taxes. The reason why we get an in-state tuition discount is we're paying the high taxes of California. Oh, but apparently if you're a Mexican citizen, you don't have to contribute in order to get that in-state tuition discount.
45 miles away from right here, will be able to attend local community colleges at a more affordable price.
Yeah, since they're just 45 miles away from this border, why don't we let them vote in elections too?
About 170,000 people cross the southern border and into California every day for work or school.
I cross the border Monday, Wednesday, and the weekends, because in the weekends I work.
Marta Rodriguez lives in Tijuana but is studying to be a nurse at Southwestern College in Chula Vista.
It's a really good opportunity to have a better future.
Rodriguez and countless others as far south as Rosarito will soon be exempt from having to pay out-of-state tuition rates.
I want to be a mechanical engineer. I think that is going to help us a lot in our future.
The price difference is significant. For example, at Southwestern College, students in California pay around $1,400 a year. Out of state, or in this case, out of country students pay closer to $6,000.
These are truly folks who are contributing.
So $4,400, that's the subsidy, the cost of taxpayers. And that's just for a community college. When you go to CSU school or a UC school, it's going to get much more expensive. This is so offensive. It's costly to you and me as citizens. We pay our taxes. We're now going to have to pay more because the foreigners are going to be paying less to come to colleges or universities. And let me just say real clear, I love the fact that these kids have dreams. Great. But part of pursuing your dream is to follow the rules. There are rules. There are benefits. We are citizens in the United States. We pay high taxes in California. We have certain benefits. Well, not anymore. Apparently, Mexican citizens get the benefits, but they don't have to play by the rules, and they get better treatment than U.S. citizens that don't live in California. Again, it's just absurd. At Reform California, we're fighting bad policies like this. We find it to be costly. We find it to be unfair. We find it to be discriminatory, and we need your help. So go to the website, reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org, chip in a contribution so we can continue to cover stories like this and get you our voter guide by signing up to be a volunteer, or just sign one of our petitions on that site, or just sign up at the bottom part of the website where you can be kept informed. Our voter guide goes out right as the ballots arrive, and we give you a plain English description of the ballot measures so you know what you're voting on. We flag where the tax increases are, and we make endorsements in candidate races. We certainly do not support David Alvarez, the author of AB 91, this absurd in-state tuition discount for Mexican citizens that is now the law in the state of California. Be part of this movement. Let's bring some sanity back to California. Also, share this video, like the video, subscribe to the video channel, follow us on this social media account so that we can continue to provide you with updates on news on California politics. With that, I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California. Thanks for watching. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.